Hi everyone, this is my introduction to Google Slides. Let's get started. To get started with Google Drive, make sure you go to google.com. Make sure you are logged into your account and then click on the waffle icon or the Google Apps and then click on Drive to go to Google Drive. Now that you are in Google Slides, make sure you go to the correct folder where you want to save your presentation. Today I'm going to go to my folder that I want to save the presentation. I'm going to go down to the practice folder, and then this is where I want to save my presentation. So now that you're in the folder, go to the new button on the top left and then go down to Google Slides. You have two options to choose from: a template or a blank presentation. Just choose. We're gonna choose a blank presentation today, and then it's gonna open another window with the blank presentation to start. Now that you have started a new presentation, on the right hand side you'll see a themes pane. Today let's choose a streamline theme, and it's going to change how every slide is going to look in your presentation. And then I can just close themes and I can begin to work. Let's go over the interface really quick. On the left hand side you'll see all your slides, and you can arrange them, like move them around. Let me just create a new slide so I can show you that. So this is slide number 2, and I can just click and drag it up, and this will be my first slide, right? So this will become my second slide, and if I just want to reorder again, I can just click on this one and drag it up, and this will be the first slide. On the top is your file name. Okay, so just the same like Google Docs. Below that are the tabs, and then below the tabs is the toolbar. And as you can see, the toolbar looks like this when you have the slide selected, right? It's gonna change if you select something in the slide. Okay, so the toolbar will change depending on if you select something. So let's say, for example, I'm going to select the title right here, this title box. I'm going to select it, and as you can see, it changed so that I can format the text, add color or something to the box or the text inside the box. Okay, so the toolbar depends on what is active. Okay, so after the toolbar, the present button is on the top right next to the share button right here, and then you'll have the scroll bar over here. If I have to if I have more slides, the scroll bar will appear. And then the last part of the interface that I want you to know is the click to add speaker notes. So this is the speaker notes box, and like I said, this is for only you can see it if you are presenting this presentation. Okay, so nobody can see this. So you can add some notes here to remind you of what you want to talk about. Let's go over the toolbar. So let me zoom in a little bit more so you can see everything a little bit better. Starting on the left is the new slides button, and you can click this to add a new slide like I did earlier, or you can click the little down arrow and you can see more layouts for your new slide, right? If you want to make a new one. Okay, so you can choose some different layouts. We close that. Next is the undo and the redo button, print, and then the painter format tool, and then the zoom, right? You can zoom into your slide, okay, or zoom back out, or to fit. Okay, next is the select, and this is the normal tool that it will be selected if you first log into or first start a new presentation. After that is the text box tool, and you can click that to add a text box, right? So you have to select the text box, and then in your slide you have to draw the text box. Okay, so now that I have drawn this text box after I have selected the text box, and as you can see, it went back to the select tool. Okay, this is the default tool that it will be on. And now I can add text, right, to the text box. After that is the insert image, and you can click on that and then click on search the web or upload from your computer. Okay, and let's just do search the web for this example, and it's gonna bring up this search for image pane right here. I'm just gonna search for flowers, and I'm just gonna add this picture. Select it, click insert, and it's gonna put the picture in there, and then you can resize the picture to fit your slide, right, by dragging any of the four corners in or out to make it bigger, right? So I'm gonna drag this in just to make it smaller to fit my slide, and I'm just gonna put it right here. Okay, so that is inserting an image. Next is inserting a shape. Okay, and I'm going to click on shape. Let me just add in a circle, right? A circular shape. Click on that, and then you have to draw the shape just like the add text box, right? So now that I have that selected, you can see that my mouse cursor has changed to this plus sign. I have to draw, click and draw the circle, right? And as you can see, I have a circle, and then I can fill in that shape with any color. I'm just gonna fill it in with the red. Okay, and I'm going to show you something really quick. I'm gonna drag it over to the over the image, right? And as you can see, this one, the shape is in front of the image, so it's gonna show first, right? But you can send it back, like you could put it behind the image or the picture. You have to you can select it, right, and then right click, and you can in the order option. Okay, so you're gonna select the text, the shape, right click inside the shape, go to where it says order. Okay, so this menu will pop up. Go to order, send backward. So backward is sending it like one time. You can choose to send it back, to send it all the way to the bottom, right? So it will be the like next to the background. Okay, I'm just gonna send it backward, and as you can see, it went behind the image, so now I can see the picture of the flower. Okay, so that is reordering your shapes and your text in your slide. Next is your line tool, and you can click that, click the down arrow, and I'm just gonna add an arrow line here, and it's the same with the shape. You have to draw the line, right? And then you can go, once you have the line, select the line again, so that you can change some options like the line color, right? Change it to say orange. I'm going to make the line thicker, right? So like 24 or 16. You can make it dotted like that, and you can change other things, right? And you can even edit the line to make it so drag the ends, right, to make it longer. You can drag it to reposition where it starts and where it ends. Okay, so that is the line tool. Now here is the background option, and you can change the background. Let me go to slide number 2, and I'm gonna click change background, and you can just change the color of the background. So let me do this with this dark blue color. Click done, and as you can see, the background has changed color, right? Or you can choose to add an image to the background. So let's add an image. I'm gonna go just search the internet, and I'm just gonna choose like an ocean picture, just a nice little. Let's choose this picture right here. I'm gonna click insert, and then click done. And as you can see, it has added this picture to the background of the slide. Okay, and then I can just start to edit again, add shapes or add other images. Okay, so that's just changing the background of the slide. Okay, and then next to the background is the layout, and let's say this is a title and add text layout, right? You can change it to like a title only, or caption, or let's say a title and 2 columns. Okay, so I'm gonna click on this one, and as you can see, it has a title right here, and then it has 1 column here, and the second column is here. Okay, so this is just the layout. Let me click on a blank area to go back to the normal toolbar. Next to the layout is the theme again. So like earlier when we just started, okay, this is the themes pane, and you can change it anytime, right, to a different theme if you want. I'm just gonna close that, and then the transition. This is to transition between slides, okay, and it's right here. Let's take a closer look at the transition option. So I'm going to click on the transition option here. It's going to bring up this pane, this motion window pane right here. And this is a transition between, so when you go between slide number 1 and slide number 2, if you want, you can add a transition. Okay, so it'll say slide transition right here, and you can click on the little drop down. Oh, sorry. Click the little drop down. If it doesn't show, click the drop down arrow, and then it's gonna show you this. You can click on the drop down here to choose from some transitions that Google Slides offer, right? So you can choose from dissolve, fade, or some of the other options. Okay, and I suggest let's just choose fade for now. You can choose how fast it transitions from slide number 1 to slide number 2. If you want it really fast, right, you can go here, or medium, and then you can choose from to apply to all the slides in your presentation, or just from slide number 1 to slide number 2. Okay, and then you can preview it right here. Click play, and it's gonna do a little preview. And as you can see, this is the fade transition. Let's choose another one just to I'm gonna click stop. Just choose another one just to show you. Let's say slide from the right side, and then I'm gonna click play, and as you can see, it's gonna slide from the right. So from slide number 1 to slide number 2. I'm gonna click stop. So that is transitions. Okay, and you can once you're finished, you can just click the X to close that window pane, so you can have more space to continue editing your slides. I'm going to talk a little bit more about the toolbar. And the toolbar, this is how it normally looks if you have nothing selected but the slides. Okay, if you have something selected, the toolbar will change depending on what is selected. Okay, so for example, if I select the title right here, the title box, right, as you can see, it has changed so that I can format the text, right? So so let me click off of it, just an empty space on the slide, and as you can see, it went back to normal. If I select the text box, it changed to so that I can change to a different font or the size of the font, right? So I can change to different fonts right here, and then I could change the size of the font, right? Let me or make the font. No, let's make the font white. All right, you can make the font white so that it's a little easier to see, or you can color the text box like I did earlier. So let's color the text box so we can see that a little bit better. Okay, and so once you have something selected, the toolbar will change. There will be more options, like how you normally would see in Google Docs. Okay, you can change the alignment, other format options here. The last thing that I'm going to show you is to add an animations to your slides. Okay, so I'm going to change my title right here to Sea Animals. Okay, and I'm going to select the text box right here, and I'm going to change the color. So I have the text box selected so that my toolbar has changed, and I'm just going to add it so it'll be easier for my audience to see the text, right? So I'm just gonna add this. Let's add a darker color. Okay, and then in the text, I highly recommend that you choose the option for bulleted list, okay, because it will be easier for your audience to read, and also easier for you to talk about, right, instead of writing just a paragraph right here. Okay, so I'm just gonna add the first bulleted list right here, and I'm just gonna type out some names of some animals that are in the ocean, like dolphins and sharks and whales, right? And so now that I have typed out some information, I can go and edit the text. So let's make the text bigger. Okay, so to do that, make sure you are not editing. Make sure you just have the text box selected. Click on the font. Let me make those words bigger, and you can change the font if you want, right? So just like that, I'm just gonna keep it on something a little easier to read, and then and let me change the font color to black, right? So a little easier to read. Okay, and to add animation to this, okay, so I want to show when I'm talking about sea animals, or when I'm presenting, I want to show one at a time, right? I don't want all of these to show up all at once. I want to go one at a time. So first it's gonna be dolphins, right? And I'm gonna talk about dolphins, and then second, I will talk about sharks, and then third, I will talk about whales, right? So to add an animation to this, make sure you have the object selected, right? Remember, you need to select the object. You can go to insert, and then you can choose animations right here. Okay, so that is one way. So I'm going to choose animations, and you can see the motion pane is going to show up, right? Let me close this as another way to show that motion pane again. So select the object. You can click on the more, because it's in the toolbar, and I can click on that, and you can see the animate option right here. So you can choose that, and it's the same way. It goes into the motions. The motion pane will pop up. Okay, and as you can see, I have this text box selected, this object. I can choose what animation I want, right? So I can choose, let's say I want to fly from the right. Okay, and I want to do it every time I click. Okay, and I want to do for each bullet point, so I have to click on by paragraph. Okay, And let's play that so that you can see it. Okay, I'm gonna click play. Oh, and it's playing from the first slide, right? And then I'm gonna click. I'm gonna talk about sea animals. I'm gonna click again, and as you can see, that is the animation. It's bringing the animation from the right, because I chose that fly from the right. So after I finish talking about dolphins, I can click again, and it's gonna bring shark in, right? And I can click again to the last point, and it'll bring that in. Okay, so that is animation, and it goes in order. And every time you want to go to the next one, you have to click, right, to for the next animation to show up. Okay, and earlier I have that the text box, I changed it to blue, and that is part in the animation as well. I'm gonna click stop. Okay, and the text box is this first one right here. Okay, and I can go in and I can change it. Okay, so like zoom in, zoom out, spin, or something like that, and that's for the text box color. Okay, I'm gonna close the motion pane, and you can do that to a text box, or you can do that to a picture. Okay, so let's add a picture here, and I'm gonna add it to the right hand side over here. So I'm just gonna insert a picture. I'm gonna delete this text box. So select it, press delete, and I'm going to add an image. So I'm gonna search the web. I'm just gonna add an image of let's say a shark, right? Press enter, and I'm gonna add this image of this shark. Select the shark, click insert, and it's gonna add a picture of a shark. You can resize if you want to match it a little bit better, right? And let's say I want to add an animation. I want to add this one when I'm talking about that, right? About each of the animals. So I can click on select the image of the shark, select more, click on animate. Okay, and as you can see, it's right here. These are some animations for each item that I have selected, right? Or that I have added the animation. And I can click on fade in, or let's say I want to fly from the bottom, right? And I want it to be medium, and I can click play. Okay, just to see my slide show, right? I have to click. As you can see, it animated that text box. Click again for the dolphin to show up. Click again for sharks. Click again for whales, and then click again, and it will show the pictures. Okay, so you can change if you want the shark to show up when you click, or you want to show it when you are talking, when the words are showing up, right? So with previous, so it's gonna show up with the previous animation. Okay, and you can play around with those. Okay, I know that Google Slides doesn't have as much options or as many options as Microsoft PowerPoint. Okay, but it does have some options for here for you to choose from, and I suggest you play around with it, see what you like. Now that you have finished with your presentation and you want to present it, okay, make sure you have your file open, of course, and then on the top right you are going to click on present, and this is going to start your presentation. Or you can, as you can see, you can press the shortcut key, the Control F5, to start your presentation. Okay, that is my introduction to Google Slides. Thank you for watching.